Hello, good evening. It's evening time, so you won't see anything. You will hear my voice. I'm going to talk about the four additional deputies that did not go into the school during the shooting. Now, when Coral Springs deputies, or police officers, I should say, showed up to the school, there were not just one deputy cowering behind a police car who you might say could possibly have been outgunned, which seems to have been the excuse people were making. But there were an additional four or three. So that's four total. I'm sorry, four total with Scott Peterson, the original deputy that they were talking about. And that's four men with gun power. And they also carry rifles in their police cars also. People tend to think of handguns, but they have the ability to put a clip in with 7 rounds against one 19-year-old student. And people keep calling this an automatic rifle. It is a semi-automatic AR-15, which means every time you pull the trigger, one bullet is fired. You don't have to cock it, but you don't just hold the trigger and it sprays a whole bunch of bullets without releasing it. You have to continue to pull it. Same as the police officers had available to them. And they were 4 to 1 shooter, according to the regular news that people see on TV. But we're going to go with that. Now, there's a problem. Why aren't they going into the school and helping and keeping these children from getting killed? What is going on here? I mean, they're being reported as cowering behind a police car by other police officers. And the sheriff, Israel, goes on TV talking about gun control and the NRA and how it's their fault when he has 4 officers with guns who aren't using them. Why aren't they using them? Why aren't they going into the schools? Are they cowards? All of them? Cowards? Have they been told to stand down? I mean, what is going on here? So no one goes into the school until the Coral Springs police officers show up. Then they take the lead to go in the school, while children are being killed along with teachers. Now here's something else interesting, and I will put the link in my description. There's also a news article about somebody who went in to Miami-Dade, and also this was also used in Broward County, where they would, over the years, since about 2012, not arrest students for misdemeanors and felonies in order to keep the numbers down, to show progress in their ability to have a safe community and safe schools, which helps your rankings go up, that is seen in public forums such as the internet, and also gets you a buttload of money, federal money, and being rewarded for being so safe and diligent in your duties. Just let that sink in. One more time. They get funds for showing improvement of safe schools. So from 2012 to 2018, needless to say, the gangs in Broward County and Miami-Dade figured out that students weren't being arrested. So once a certain quota was met on arrests of misdemeanors and felonies, it would stop. Quarterly, monthly, however they looked at it. But these gang members figured it out, so they would have the students do the dirty work for them. So needless to say, between 2012 and 2018, things got worse, not better. But on paper, they looked great. Violence had gone down by 60%, arrests had gone down by this much percent, etc., etc. And they get all kind of accolades and write-ups and how wonderful they are. In the meantime, the students are being used to do criminal acts for gang members, and also those who are so inclined to misbehave are accelerating because they don't get in any trouble. And the police officers hide the evidence, and that's how someone noticed who was investigating school safety from another area. I will put the link below. I'm trying just to explain it in basic terms, but you can read it for yourself. Why am I not surprised? Because I was a teacher, and I can't tell you how many times I had students marched back to my class telling, with a principal with them, we had several vice principals who would usually handle discipline, and have them tell me that, that's not how they say it happened. And question me as an adult, as a teacher, even in front of the students. I found out probably 5 years within teaching that I had a right not to take them back in my classroom the same day. So they learned real quick that I was going to first get irate for them even questioning me in front of the children. And secondly, they weren't coming back in my classroom. They could watch them for the rest of the hour. But all that has to do with numbers and other students doing horrendous things at school and basically getting a slap on the hand and coming back to school the next day. They watched their suspension rates. They watched the expulsions from schools because it affected their ranking. And the rankings are what the community and people moving in state, etc., look at. And it also affects their funds. So don't think it only happens in Florida. Don't think that at all, especially in your bigger cities where there are more problems. So, wake up, America. Wake up. I am so glad that this is coming out somewhere. Now in Florida, this is deep and dirty. And in other places, I'm sure it's dirty too. So, do a little investigating in your area and see what's really going on. please. This is so disheartening, but I am ecstatic. It's finally coming out, and I hope to God they sue every one of them for dereliction of duty, for the deaths of these children, and allowing this to be what it is by not protecting the children in the community and in the schools and the people in the community, by allowing the criminal rate to just skyrocket while on paper it looks great. How dare they stand behind their police cars and don't go in and help these children and teachers? How dare they? They are so corrupt. And it's not just in that moment. That was the worst moment while people were dying. But it was also in the years and years and years before that they allowed these students to get hooked on drugs, sell drugs, do whatever they're doing, and not do anything. Nothing. And people in their community, shame on them. Shame on them. And God help us all.